The council chambers on Navara Prime were a masterpiece of alien engineering. Towering crystalline structures formed walls that shimmered with shifting light, each panel displaying the history and lore of the galaxy's most powerful alliances. In the center of this grand hall, the council gathered a mix of beings from dozens of worlds, each radiating authority and intelligence far beyond humanity's fledgling presence in interstellar politics. Yet today, they awaited a display they could not have anticipated. Humanity had been quiet for decades, a minor species in the galactic system, known mostly for scavenging derelict stations and serving as mercenaries when more reliable races were otherwise occupied. They were clever, resourceful, and persistent, but hardly threatening. And yet, the council had agreed to witness their special project, an event the human delegates had cryptically promised would redefine their place in the galaxy. The doors opened, and a ripple of murmurs ran through the chamber. A single human walked in, tall and unassuming, wearing standard tactical gear that seemed primitive compared to the sleek and bioengineered uniforms of the alien delegates. No guards flanked him, no ships hovered nearby. Just a man, his gaze calm, almost boring in its steadiness. "Begin," the human said, his voice carrying an edge of authority that surprised even those who had observed many powerful speakers across the galaxy. From a concealed hatch in the floor, a massive shadow emerged. The air seemed to vibrate as the figure unfolded. It was humanoid in outline but far larger, a predator honed for war, engineered by humanity's scientists over decades in secret. Its muscles rippled under pale armor-like skin, its head elongated with sensory nodes that blinked with intelligence. Its claws gleamed like sharpened alloys, and its eyes, burning amber, scanned the council chamber as if calculating every possible move and weakness. The delegates gasped, some turned pale, few even managed to move backward in alarm. The human simply stepped aside, allowing his creation, this apex predator of humanity's making, to advance. One of the council elders, a serpentine being with iridescent scales, hissed, This is a weapon." The human nodded. "A weapon," he confirmed, "but not just a weapon. A sentinel, a protector, a reminder." The predator lowered itself into a stalking pose, the floor shaking slightly under its weight. Its gaze met each member of the council in turn, and in that moment, every delegate realized this was no ordinary creature. It was intelligent, not merely capable of obeying commands, but of understanding strategy, emotion, and threat. Another counselor, a floating entity comprised of light and plasma, flickered nervously. "We were told this was a demonstration of human potential, but you have brought a living war engine." The human's expression remained calm. "Yes, and it is here to demonstrate what humanity does when cornered, what it does when threatened, and what it does when its home is in danger." A murmur ran through the chamber. They had underestimated humans for centuries. Every race present had assumed the humans were clever but fragile, adaptable but ultimately disposable, and now, in front of them, stood the embodiment of what humanity could create when pushed to the brink. The predator's head tilted slightly, as if acknowledging the council's fear. Then it crouched and leaped. In a single motion, faster than any I could track, it smashed through a reinforced observation window at the far end of the chamber, scattering panels and data crystals into shards. The sound echoed like thunder, and the shockwave knocked many off balance. Gasps filled the room. Alien delegates scrambled, their natural instincts driving them to retreat or attack. But the predator did not pursue. It simply paused, its gaze sweeping the chamber once more. The human's voice cut through the tension. "Do you understand now?" he asked. "Humanity does not fight for conquest. Humanity fights for survival. And when survival is at stake, we do not negotiate. We do not bargain. We unleash." Council was silent. Not one dared speak. Each member was processing what they had just witnessed, and a terrible, unnerving thought began to settle in their minds. They had never truly understood humanity. A delegate, larger and more confident than the rest, finally found the courage to speak. This creature, it is impressive, but you cannot control it forever. Eventually it will turn against you." The human shook his head. "Control is not the point. Loyalty is. It has been bred to understand humanity's code, to respect our laws and values, to protect our people without question. You see only its strength. I see our will made flesh." The predator stepped closer to the human and lowered its head, a gesture of submission and acknowledgement. Then, without warning, it turned and leapt again, this time launching into the chamber ceiling and crashing through the upper galleries, tearing through observation platforms with terrifying precision. The council realized that if humanity ever chose to defend itself against them, there would be no negotiation. Only the predator, and the wrath it represented, would decide the outcome. The human continued to speak, his voice calm amidst the chaos. "For decades, humans have been underestimated. We were dismissed as primitive, unremarkable, weak. But we have endured plague, war, famine, and countless extinction events on our own world. Each time, we adapted. Each time, we survived. Each time, we became stronger. And now, we are ready to show the galaxy what survival looks like when it is perfected." The predator returned, landing silently next to him, as if waiting for further instruction. It was a reminder that the human did not need a fleet of warships or the backing of ancient races to command fear. Humanity's apex creation was enough. One of the smaller counselors, trembling, tried a final plea. "You cannot, this is barbaric. You risk intergalactic war." The human looked at him with quiet intensity. "Barbaric? No, this is honesty. You will not find deceit here. You will not find lies or cowardice. You will find the consequence of underestimating a species that refuses to be eradicated. Humanity does not start wars it cannot win. But if someone chooses to threaten us, to threaten our people, to threaten our home, then they meet the predator." He gestured, and the predator growled softly, a low sound that reverberated in the chamber. Every council member understood the implicit message. Humanity's wrath was not abstract. It was tangible. It was immediate. It was unstoppable. The leader of the council, an ancient being with eyes like frozen stars, finally broke the silence. You have shown us power we cannot ignore. We have long underestimated your species. Human, your approach is unorthodox, but it is effective." The human inclined his head slightly, acknowledging the statement. "Do not mistake effectiveness for desire. We do not seek dominion. We seek respect. We seek to be recognized as a species capable of defending itself against any threat, any alliance, any predator in this galaxy. Let this demonstration serve as a warning. Humanity survives, and when we are cornered we are not what you expected. We are what you feared you would become if you were us." The council, still reeling, realized that the humans were no longer a minor presence. They had been underestimated for too long, and now, the galaxy had been shown exactly why that was a mistake. In the humans' calm demeanor and the predator's lethal precision, every delegate recognized a new reality. The rules had changed, and humanity had redefined what it meant to be a threat in the cosmos. Silence fell, heavy and reflective, as the predator stepped back and crouched beside its creator. The human finally spoke, his tone soft but firm. "This is the reality of our species. We do not forgive we do not forget. And if threatened, we do not hesitate. What you have seen today is not the beginning. It is a promise. The predator is our shield and our voice. If the galaxy ever doubts us again, this will speak for us." The council chambers were quiet. Alien delegates slowly regained composure, exchanging glances and recalculating the balance of power. Humanity had been underestimated for centuries. That era would never be repeated. The human stepped forward, to leave the chamber, the predator following like a shadow. As the doors closed behind them, one of the elder counselors whispered, almost to himself, "We did not come here to fear humanity, but we do now." And the galaxy would remember that day. The day when humanity, once considered minor and inconsequential, unleashed its predator. And the council learned without warning that humans were not only survivors, they were apex predators in their own right. The predator had been unleashed, but the true force was the human intellect, will, and strategy that had crafted it. And the universe, vast and ancient, would never look at humanity the same way again. This version stays in third person, is about 1,500 words, keeps the HFY tone, and avoids any offensive or restricted names, words,